But it does you no good, right? It does you no good to know all this if you don't come back to the Most High's laws. Just you knowing it is not enough, because you got to have faith and works. You got to do both. You got to have faith that, hey, I'm an Israelite. I come from the tribe of Judah. The same blood that run through Christ run through my blood. I believe in the Bible. You can't just walk around and do that, because that'll be Christianity. And this is not Christianity. You gotta have works. You gotta do the work. So if the scriptures tell you to not eat certain foods, unclean foods, you gotta say, hey, I can't eat that. Why? Because I'm obedient and it's God said so. Right? Can you get 1 Samuel 2 and 8 for me? 1 Samuel 2 and 8. Because just knowing is not enough. You gotta have the works to match it up with, right?
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 8. He riseth up the poor out of the dust.
He rises up the poor out of the dust, right?
He lifted up the beggar from the dunghill.
He lifted up the beggar out of the dunghill, right? So he's talking about a person that's in a low estate, right? Maybe not doing so good, whether it's financially, well, whatever situation, and he's in a low estate.
To set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory.
To set them among princes, right? To be glorious, to be amongst the high in the nations. So he could bring you from low and bring you to the top, right? And that comes with an inheritance of being an Israelite. That's your inheritance. But to get that inheritance, you got to do the works governed by God. Because there's no inheritance for an African American. There's no inheritance for a black man. There's no inheritance for a Puerto Rican and Mexican. But there is an inheritance for somebody from the tribe of Judah. There is an inheritance from being from the tribe of Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, and so on and so forth. Because the Most High take you from a low state and bring you to a high state. But you got to come back to this nationality. And a part of our nationality was govern yourself by these law, statutes, and commandments, which means you got to read this book and get the knowledge in here. You understand that? So that's what you got to do from this day forth. You got a Bible? You got a Bible at home?
No, I don't have a home, man.
Do we have one on deck? I was going to say, if we didn't have one for you, we'll make sure we get you one next week. We here every Saturday.
Oh, yeah, you
The bloodline of Puerto Ricans? Yeah, we know the bloodline of Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? All right, King. So, we got you a Bible. You know what tribe you come from, right? You know your history, right? You know your ancestry. So, all we ask, don't believe everything we say. You know what I'm saying? We ask you to do your own research and do the fact checking for yourself. You know what I mean? All right, King, we appreciate you.
Words that might be difficult, go to Google and get the answer to it. You know what I'm saying? So that you get full understanding. You know what I'm saying?
All right, how long y'all gonna be standing right here for, man?
We almost shutting down.
We almost shutting down, but you know, we here every Saturday, man, from like 1 to 5, 1 to 6, something like that. All right, King, you be safe.
We got some laws we want to talk to you about.
What up, King? So you say you want to know about your tribe?
Yeah, I just want you to be informed her on like more than just Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to like know like the whole nine when it comes to.
So do y'all know what Puerto Rican means or Puerto Rico? No? Puerto Rican, that's a term given by our oppressors, right? The people who put our people in captivity. And it just means door of riches, right? Because back then, when the conquistadors came over there to conquer, before they conquered that land, when they got there, all they seen was riches, right? From the gold to the diamonds to the rubies to even the vegetables and the fruits that's in the land, right? You got exotic fruit over there that will not grow anywhere else, right? Even the frog, the coqui, right? If you take that frog from out of there, it will die. It's a fact. It's been proven. It will only last over there, right? So when they came over there, they said, oh, this is the Puerto Riches. They got some things over here. We gotta get that. We taking that. And that's exactly what they did. They raped, robbed, and murdered our ancestors, our grandmothers, our grandma. If you didn't do what they say and believed in this Christ right here, you was put to death. And they did some horrible things to our people, man. And you see our black people in the 60s, how they used to sick dogs on us. They bring the water hose out on us. Now see, the black people, we went through slavery. Y'all went through slavery too. Y'all had to pick,
We had our
right? Sugar cane, tobacco, sweet potato, and all that stuff, right? But they did some horrible things to our Northern Kingdom people.
Puerto Ricans back then.
Right.
They couldn't even get that right. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? But they did some horrible things to our people, man. If you didn't bring back enough gold that they wanted, they would not cut your arm off, but cut like your foot off, cut your wrists off. Very inhumane things, right? So you got a scripture for me?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead, bring it out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 13. And of Joseph, he said, "Blessed of the Lord be his land."
It said, of Joseph, blessed of the Lord be his land. Now, you know who Joseph is in the Bible? Y'all heard of Joseph, right? He was thrown in the well by his brothers, right? Well, it says, blessed of the Lord, right? In Hebrew, that would be Barakayah. In today, colloquially, the Puerto Ricans, y'all say Boricua, right? So it's just been changed a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So, Boricua, Barakayah, blessed of the Lord. That's what that's talking about right there. And we have prophecies and archaeology and all these things that match the Puerto Ricans to the tribe of Ephraim. The tribe of Ephraim, that would be a tribe in the Bible. When you read the Bible and you see Ephraim, that's talking about your people, okay? You know what I'm saying?
So no Taino background or none of that.
No, Tainos, that's our people. Yeah, that's our people too. That's in the scripture. That's in the scripture. Yeah, it goes to Taino, the Arawak. It goes back to all those indigenous people of the land. That's our people. You get it? No, we appreciate you, King. We appreciate you, y'all stopping by. We be out here and nobody stop by. They give us the gas face, man, just for out here reading the Bible, man.
Like I'm not gonna lie, it was like even like down to 6:35, down to Jesus, like you feel me, like you know how supposedly he came to the United States and then left, went to Iraq or wherever, you feel me, like a Hebrew type of culture, and his name wasn't Jesus, it was Yeshua or whatever the case may be.
Well, Jesus is like Jesus is like a alliteration, right? Of Aisu, which in the Latin, right, or Greek, Latin or Greek, which is Joshua. Go back to Joshua.
Right. So through translation, we got to the point now where they call him Jesus. Right? But before that, it was Joshua.
That's what I'm saying, but like
but before that, in the original Hebrew, it was Yahweh.
Yahweh Shai, right?
J was not a J, it was
J wasn't invented.
J wasn't invented to the 1500s by a man named Giorgio Trissini, right? And the pronunciation was not there, right? The Hebrew language is not verbose, right? We use a lot of ah and I. So with Yahweh, his name is Yahweh Shai, as far as who we call Jesus today. Yahweh Shai. And the Most High God name is Yahweh. Yahweh Shai.
Another point is, though, we say this all the time, that in Puerto Rico, in the mountains, they have the people up there. They call them like the old.
You know what I want? I want
They call them Hebrew.
Deuteronomy 33, where it talks about Moro. Is that Deuteronomy? Or Genesis 49?
So it tells you that we have a rich history, but people in the mountains still are called Hebrew and still stick to it, so to speak. But the city people don't have no knowledge of it. I'm saying because of all of the conquistadors and the conquerors, who not only gave you Spanish, but also gave you Catholicism. Like if I asked you, like, or if I guessed I would say like your grandmother is probably a Catholic, or like another generation before her would be Catholic, because when they came and bum rushed Puerto Rico,
Maybe Catholic, if I'm not mistaken. I know I'm Christian, but she might be Catholic. You know, she's heavy on the religion.
yeah, but when they bum rushed your island, though, that's what they did. They came in there with swords and guns and poisons and everything, and they lied and they raped and robbed and murdered and took, and then forced y'all to speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? But your original language was never Spanish. But if we talk to Spanish people, we say, you've been speaking this language that ain't yours for 500 years. We're here to tell you what your real language is, which is Hebrew.
So what was the real language?
Right, your real language is Hebrew, right? So when y'all say, well, when we use the word Latin, right? That's Latin comes from Rome, Italy, right? That was a mountainous region in Italy. So that would be saying, hey, I'm Latin, I'm property of Rome, I'm property of Rome, right? Then you got Hispanic, Hispanio, right? Property of Spain, right? So those words go back to that.
If you call yourself Latin or Hispanic, you're saying you're the property of something else.
Because they are the ones who conquered your ancestors, right?
And
So
even for us, we speak in English. And we know the English conquered us when we got over here. But English ain't our original language.
right.
But for 500 years, we've been speaking it, though, so we comfortable thinking that, oh, you know what, we belong here, this is our language. But our people, the scripture says, are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we don't want to read to find out the truth.
I don't know. I feel like this generation, like, you know, like, got acknowledgement into like culture. You know, like, they don't want to know where they came from and how they came.
Nah, because Christmas is too good, Thanksgiving is too
Exactly.
good.
You know what I mean?
You know, the
Like,
barbecue
they
at the
got it
July
out here,
4th
like,
and everything is sweet.
That's because our people are comfortable in this place we call America, captivity,
At ease.
right? We got so many things to keep us occupied besides finding out the truth. They want to remove the knowledge of who you are, where you come from, what your ancestors going through. They want to remove that. They don't want you to know that. They just want you to worry about the NBA, NFL. They just want you to know about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, what they doing, and loving hip hop. That's all they want you to do. They want you to be docile.
It's called bread and circus.
It could be me and you. I'm Puerto Rican. You're ethnicity.
And they divide that.
They divide it. But
Right.
if we conquer each other, you feel me? We come together and we fuck around and fuck them, overthrow them. You're not gonna have no power. You feel me? Because then what?
That's Bible prophecy.
Right.
Bible prophecy says,
You
Bill,
gotta
that
open your eyes to this shit. If you open your eyes and really realize what's going on, you gotta
Let's gather yourself together, what he's talking about. That's exactly what the scripture's talking about. The scriptures, it tells you to gather yourselves together, right?
I mean, I don't really read the Bible and all that, but you know, I just go off of like what I see in here on TikTok, and it's like a lot of controversy on like, you know, like supposed, you know, like what is it called, conspiracies and stuff like that about the Bible and all that. But like, I take that into consideration because they're not speaking that for no reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's a meaning behind it. Right.
The spirit is bearing witness with you, King. So you should read the Bible. The Bible says, "Blessed is the man who readeth, or woman who readeth."
I've been, you
Right?
know, I'm getting my head right now, you know, going to mental classes and all that. So I'm trying to get right. So when the time comes and it's right, I know I'm gonna get down into it.
I understand you. I hear you too, King. I understand. I hear you. You know, but the Bible say, "Make no tarrying and turn to the Lord, King," because you never know what's going to happen.
tomorrow.
It can happen
I mean, the next
tonight.
second.
It can happen the next
You know
hour.
what's going to happen tomorrow.